Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to my Rustic Christmas Decor, raw wood blanks. This is sort of a carryover from last week's high-end decor. I am so in love with this raw wood, and I am going to show you how I made this adorable directional sign. Now, I saw Melissa over at All Things Crafty make one. We are both chalk couture designers, so we both actually have this particular transfer, and when I saw the way she used it, I fell in love with it. So I wanted to sort of recreate it with my spin on it. So I'm taking 4 of these arrow signs from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint them with this antique wax by Waverly. Now normally when I'm using the antique wax, I like to paint it on with the paintbrush and then wipe it off with the baby wipe. But I wanted it a little bit lighter than my normal wood. So I painted all 4 of them with the antique wax, and then I took this white Waverly chalk paint and gave it a really good distressed coat of the white chalk paint on the front and the back. Even though you're not going to really see the back, I went ahead and just painted the front and the back. And I made sure to get the edges on all 4 of my little arrows too. So once I got them done, I was ready to start chalking. Now this is the most adorable transfer that I have seen in a while. And it's made specifically for these little directional signs. And the first one says North Pole established 60, what does that say? 62 or something like that. I'm going to use my bark. And my bark is just a brown. And I'm going to chalk it on, and then once I chalk it on, I'm going to peel it off and let you see how beautiful it is. Watch this. Look at that. Abso-freaking-lutely perfect every time. 1863 is what it said. Okay. Now the next one says Peppermint Mine. And then it says something else down there at the bottom, but I didn't have enough room for everything. So all I did was put peppermint, and then I added the little candy cane over to the side, but I had to move it because of how small this little arrow was. And then I went back later and put the mine, M-I-N-E, on it in the bark. I wish I would have done it in the black though, because it doesn't show up as much as I would like for it to. Now this one that says Christmas Tree Forest. So I'm using my pesto, which you guys know is my absolute favorite green for Christmas, and then my bark for the forest, and look how stinking cute that one turned out. And then the last one says Elf Village, and at the bottom it says Christmas cheer all year. I'm trying to read it. Hang on, let me see what it says when I peel it back. Watch this. Beautiful. It says Christmas cheer all year round. Okay, well, I made it harder than it was. Now I'm going to go back with my red or candy apple and put on that little hat. And now is when I'm going back in and putting the word mine, like peppermint mine. And again, if I would have done it over, I would use the black so you could see it better. But anyway, it is what it is. And these are how they turned out. And I thought they were cute, but they were missing something. So I figured I would go in with my antique wax and just sort of distress all around the edge. And that is exactly what they were missing. I loved it so much better once I darkened up those edges some. It just seemed to make it pop, in my opinion, a little bit more. And then I took one of these little gingerbread men that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I put it on the one that says North Pole because it was a little bit too plain. And then I took one of these Christmas trees, same exact thing, just a different shape, and I put it on the one that says Christmas Tree Farm and just zhuzhed it up a little bit, and I love the way it turned out. It gave it just a tiny little bit of a 3D effect. Now this spindle right here I got from Lowe's for $2.18. I was shocked. I was prepared to spend $7 or $8 for this spindle, but it was literally a little over $2. So I took that same antique wax, I painted the whole thing, and then I stayed with my theme by taking the white Waverly chalk paint and distressing the whole stick, or whatever you want to call it. And here's where I take the white spindle. That's what you call it. I took the white and I distressed that spindle down. Now, right under the spindle, whenever I bought this spindle, they had these little square blocks that already had the hole drilled into it for the bottom. Right there it is. And I want to say it was like $3 and some change. And then that little finial right there I got at Hobby Lobby for $1.50. And same thing, keeping with the same thing, I'm using the antique wax, wiping it down, and then distressing it with that white Waverly chalk paint. Now I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to put my little finial on top. I'm going to screw on my bottom. Well, actually, I think I did my signs first. Yes, I did. I did do my signs first. And I glued them down now with my wood glue, hot glue sticks. Y'all, if you haven't bought you some yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting on, because that stuff has the most amazing hold. It's almost like you're welding it if it's wood on wood. It just, I'm telling you, it works so stinking good. Now I'm going to drill me a little pilot hole in the bottom of my spindle. I keep wanting to call it a stick, but it's a spindle. And I'm going to add that little bottom right to the bottom, what it was made for, and I'm going to screw that screw in. Now that screw was a little bit rounded on the bottom, so what I did is I just screwed it a little bit further in than it needed to be so it would sit flat. And look at that, y'all. How stinking cute did that sign turn out? I love it. Mine is much, much different than Melissa's, but it's still just as cute as it can be, and I love it. And that's the fun of these transfers, is that you can make it whatever you want to make it to match whatever theme and whatever decor you have going on. And I am just tickled pink at the way this thing turned out. Look how cute. I cannot get over it. I can't wait till my grandbabies see it. I want to hear what they've got to say about it, and I want to read what you have to say about it down in the comments below. So let me know what you think about that. Now for DIY number 2, I'm going to make this tray. Now, I absolutely love to entertain at my house. Look, y'all, I got that for 49 stinking cents. Normally $4.99, but I got it 90% off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little cups right here, and they're candle cups is what they are, but I'm going to use them for feet. And I'm going to stay with the same thing. I'm going to put that antique wax on, then I'm going to wipe it right back off. Now this time, I'm not going to distress this with the white. The top and the bottom of the little tray that I'm making, I'm going to leave brown. But I am going to wipe it off with the baby wipe and bring out that gorgeous wood grain. Watch what happens here. Look at that. It is just absolutely beautiful. Now, even though you're not going to be able to see under the middle part of that, I wanted to make sure that I covered that just in case the light hit it just right and you could see that raw wood in there. I didn't want you to be able to see that. Now this one here is just the bottom, because I'm going to take me some beads and I'm going to put between the top layer and the second layer. Now these rounds I got from the Hobby Lobby, and I want to say there's like 5 or 6 to a pack, and they're just about $5 or $6. I need to get the real price for you and tell you what they really are, but they're not much. They come up to a little over $1 per round, and the rounds are like 14 inches. So it's a good size little tray that I'm making. Now I'm taking these little cups right here, these candle cups, and I'm doing the same thing you've seen me do with the rest of the wood. I'm going to wipe it down with my antique wax. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to dry brush over it pretty good with that white chalk paint. Now I'm just counting my little beads here to see how many I need. I was hoping to have enough beads to like butt them up to each other side by side, but I didn't. So I had to make sure that I measured it out just so that I could have it evenly spaced around my little tray. So if you've seen me before, you know I love to paint my beads on one of these little sticks right here, because the skewers, because it's just so much easier. You've got so much control. It don't flip flop and fall all over the place like some other things that I've used in the past does. It stays straight and it's solid, and it's just so much easier like that. Now these and the little feet are what I'm going to paint with the white, or distress, should I say, with the white. I'm not, like I said, doing the top and the bottom, only the feet and the beads, and I love the way this thing turned out. So once I got everything done and it dried, I'm going to start assembling my little tray. So whenever I got my tray, I took the prettiest piece to be my top, and I set it to the side. And now I'm going to take these little feet right here, and I'm going to space them evenly around and put all 4 of them on. Then I'm going to take my little beads and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to start hot gluing them down with the wood glue. Again, wood on wood, this wood glue hot sticks is the absolute best thing you can use. Now I'm going to add my top, and voila, that is it. Y'all, look how stinking cute this turned out. It's big, it's beefy, and it was literally probably, if I put everything together, maybe $3.50, $4 for this whole thing. And I think it is just absolutely beautiful. And it actually matches that little tray that I bought at the Walmart recently. I love it. I'm just showing you a couple different ways that you can use it. How do you like that? I love it. I think it just turned out. It's literally exactly what I pictured in my head I wanted it to look like. Sometimes I can do that, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I miss the mark. But this one right here turned out exactly like I wanted it to. And I just adore the way this turned out. So let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Now my DIY number 3 is just so simple, so cute, and so beginner friendly is what I'm going to call it. I'm taking one of these little Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. Same thing. I'm going to take that antique wax, and I'm going to paint the whole thing, and I'm going to take a baby wipe, and I'm going to wipe it off. Now, I'm not going to distress this whole thing because I'm going to put a picture on it. I'm going to take one of my transfers from Chalk Couture, and I'm going to pick out this one. It's called Reindeer Feed, and it's just so cute to me, and it's so rustic, and it's so farmhousey. And I love it. I love, love, love it. I'm going to put my little transfer down. I'm going to take my white chalk paste, and I'm going to chalk right over the top of it. And I want you to watch when I pull this thing back. I never get tired of this, y'all. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So now I'm going to take me a little star, and keeping with my theme, with my colors, I'm going to paint it that gorgeous little pesto color. And I'm going to glue it right to the top of my tree. Once I get that done, I'm going to make me a little finger bow with this cute little twine that I bought from Hobby Lobby recently. And a finger bow, you just wrap it around your finger 9 or 10 times and tie a little string right around the middle, and that's literally all there is to doing that. But it was missing something. There was a big old gap there, and I just thought it needed a little bit of something extra. So I went and I did the same thing that I did last week, and I just made myself a little beaded hanger. And I've just fallen in love with these little beaded hangers. I think they're so cute, and they just add the perfect little touch, high-end touch, in my opinion, to anything that you're making, especially if it's like a sign or something, like this little thing right here. So I just picked the same colors that I'm using in my other decor. I'm going to dry it because y'all know I am so impatient. And I'm just going to make me like a little beaded hanger. And the tip end of it, I'm going to cut off probably about a 1/2 inch maybe. And I'm just going to fray the whole bottom and make it just like poofy, where you just take the bottom and you just pull it apart and pull it apart and pull it apart and pull it apart, if that makes any sense, and just fray the bottom. And then I'm going to glue it right there to my little beaded hanger. And I had a block. I was going to put a hanger on it to hang it up, and I had this little block in my stash, and I thought, you know what, that's perfect to make it stand up. Well, then I got an idea. I thought I was done, but then I got an idea to go back and sort of frost the edges of the whole thing. And again, I am so glad I did that, because it just made it pop out, kind of like those signs in the beginning when I darkened them. Well, now, because it was up against a light background, well, now this is up against a dark background, so I'm going to use something light to trim it out with. And it just, to me, it just pops right out at you and says, here I am, look at how cute I am, and look at that. I love it. $1, y'all. $1.25. I'm sorry. I still ain't used to that 25-cent. However, I'm tickled to death about that 25-cent, because it has raised the bar at the Dollar Tree on the quantity and the quality of the items that they have there now. Like I've said in the past, I was one of those fussing and carrying on about that little quarter, but my, it has changed the game at the Dollar Tree. It has brought in some amazing new things. So that is what I had to do with these raw wood blanks this week. And I cannot wait to hear what you think about what I did with them. I want you to take one more look at everything on my final reveal. Look at how stinking cute, y'all. Now, y'all can't tell me that ain't cute. And you can't tell me you wouldn't want that in your house. No, I know everybody don't like that rustic feel. But if you like a rustic farmhouse feel, there goes my tongue getting tied. I thought sure I was fixing to get through this video without getting tongue tied, but y'all know that ain't going to happen. So there you go. But anyway, I just think it's the most adorable thing. And look how cute that little sign is. I don't even have $2 in that, y'all, with the paste that I used and that little bow that I made. Now, this tray right here, I'm so proud of this tray. It's really big and will hold, those chargers that you can get at the Dollar Tree. It's a little bit bigger than one of those chargers. So you could actually put a charger on top of it and decorate it too. But I am just in love with all of this wood, and what you can do with the raw wood is just unlimited. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who is talking to me right now live on my premiere. If you are here for a rewind or whatever it's called when you come back and watch it later, then drop me a Christmas tree down in the bottom to let me know that you watched it and that you're still with me right here in the end. But I just want to say, as always, I will see you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now.